Nani? Pfizer lied about their COVID-19 vax data on the testing of transmission before releasing it to the public? Wait, so those loony conspiracy theorists were right, actually? What? Hey, my dudes, how's it hanging? It's your boy, ZNF1 here. So, I want to talk to you guys about this little lie that one of the executives of Pfizer admitted to in court, in Parliament over in Europe. But before we go on and get into this, though, let's Around October 10th, Pfizer's executive Janine Smalls admitted in court that Pfizer's COVID-19 jab was not tested on prevention of transmission prior to it being released to the public. So the cat's finally out of the bag. In Parliament, she admitted that they lied about what they said initially when it got released.
The Pfizer COVID vaccine tested on stopping the transmission of the virus before it entered the market. If not, please say it clearly. If yes, are you willing to share the data with this committee? And I really want a straight answer, yes or no, and I'm looking forward to it.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No. We had to really move at the speed of science.
Now, remember how they plus other government officials / billionaires like Bill Gates, Joe Biden, Anthony Fauci, etc. said things like, when you get vaccinated, you not only protect your own health and that of the family, but also you contribute to the community. Health by preventing spread of the virus throughout the community. In other words, you become a dead end to the virus. And when there are a lot of dead ends, the virus is not going to go anywhere.
Cover that. You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Yeah.
We've just learned President Biden has been tested positive for COVID-19.
But wait, wouldn't what Pfizer executive Janine Smalls said in Parliament give many people a very logical and legal reason not to get a vaccine, since it's been proven they weren't properly tested? This was at the time of them pushing this vaccine out, by the way, too. Yes, it would, but you were discriminated or labeled a crazy conspiracy theorist if you dared to say this publicly or question the mainstream's narrative. Wait, so since they lied about it along with the FDA when they approved it, doesn't that mean that we were guinea pigs then? Yep. Now, doesn't it kind of make sense with that lie? Pfizer being publicly convicted of fueling the opioid epidemic for 2 decades before releasing the jab, plus the FDA approving them first, make many people distrust them and the government? Then, in August of 2021, the CDC said things like, fully vaccinated people with the Delta variant breakthrough infections can spread the virus to others. Ironic. You think with all they are saying that they couldn't do that. Then later that year, Joe Biden saying things like this: we're requiring active duty military to be vaccinated. We're making sure that healthcare workers are vaccinated, because if you seek care at a healthcare facility, you should have the certainty that people providing that care are protected from COVID and cannot spread it to you. Kind of ironic, because they made a lot of those healthcare workers go back to work despite the fact that they had COVID, isn't it? I thought that we weren't supposed to, go in because of how highly contagious it was, yet they were having people come back in a lot that contracted COVID. Kind of backwards, isn't that? Then Sleepy Joe plus other people in positions of power like Bill Gates and other big tech figures and governmental figures would say things like, the unvaccinated, not the vaccinated, the unvaccinated, that's the problem. Really amazing how the unvaccinated were demonized, discriminated against, ostracized, and used as sole scapegoats pretty much for the past 3 years. Surprisingly too, most of those people that watched the mainstream news or idolized these people did the exact same thing that they did. Shocker there, right? That's what they did back in more ancient times when people were non-Catholic. They treated them like heretics. Or more recently in his story that a lot of people probably know about, it'd be like the Jim Crow laws and how they treated black people. Obviously different extent, but like demonization and everything else was a core element in how all that worked, and they treated people like they're the Antichrist, kind of like what they did in the past 3 years. Like in that aspect, it's similar. The unvaccinated were a minority in this sense, and a minority was discriminated, demonized, etc. When that's not how it works ever. You should never do that to anybody, no matter what. You feel me? You don't demonize a minority of people when they're not bad people. If they're shitty people, that's one thing. I can understand that, but the fact of the matter, most of these people who are unvaccinated are not bad people. They just share a different opinion. And, oh, this one person's bad, you know, or like this one person's unvaccinated, isn't a good person, so we're just going to demonize everybody else, or we're going to do that because the mainstream media told us to, and all these government officials. It's not how that works. It's what happens when people idolize people and just follow. They use the lower 3 chakras, not the upper, like, 4. Those are all based off survival mindsets or scarcity mindsets, which are in the lower 3 chakras of your body, or the lower vibrations. Higher vibrations come from above the solar plexus, so the heart above, all the way to your crown chakra, which connects you to the divine, or universe, God, etc., whatever you want to fucking believe in, you know? During this past 3 years, we were treated like we were the bubonic plague or heretics for not following the mainstream narrative or saying it publicly. That, or even people that slightly differed in opinion from the mainstream's narrative publicly, were labeled as conspiracy theorists. Notice how that word conspiracy theorist is almost always used in a denoting / demeaning way ever since it was starting to be used heavily and coined by the CIA in the 1950s too, by the way. Doesn't this sound a little messed up? Now, you know what else is messed up? The fact that you guys haven't hit that subscribe button or hit the like button. All joking aside though, my dudes, if you guys do this, it really helps out the channel. Also helps to get us further up in the algorithm, to let people know that it's okay to question these systems that we live in. It's okay to think independently. We don't need to all have the same fucking mindset on everything. Things wouldn't get accomplished and progress wouldn't be made if that was the case, you know? But with all that being said, I appreciate you guys very much, and let's get back into the video. Also, by the way, YouTube started doing this. We can't talk openly about COVID anymore, the jabs or anything like that, because we might hurt people if we talk about topics constructively and open-mindedly. That wouldn't at all prevent us billionaires / corrupt conglomerates and government officials from making astronomically high record profits if it was discussed openly. No, not one bit. For we public officials can never be wrong. And also, so you know, Albert Bourla, where do we know him from? Oh, that's right, he's the chairman of Pfizer. Bourla was expected to face questions and address the scrutiny surrounding the negotiations for Europe's third vaccine contract with Pfizer, signed in May and covering an initial 90 million doses for delivery in 2022 and 2023. That man bailed on that, by the way, and why would he do that? That man also told us all that we wouldn't get any COVID jab data, taxpayer funded, by the way, for at least 75 years. Wait, wouldn't most of us be dead when those records go public then? Hey, that's our money. We should be able to see those already. Shut up, you crazy loony bin conspiracy theorist, and do as you're told, or I'll... So they sit here and lie about the shit and then publicly admit it after saying that we won't get to see any of the records on what we, the taxpayers, paid for across the world for 75 years. In addition to them also, you know, fueling the opioid epidemic for 2 decades and then just getting a slap on the wrist, pretty much, not getting disbanded or heavily reprimanded or anything else. They just lose money. Just enough, they just deal out, but they don't lose anything significantly. And they killed hundreds of thousands to millions of people, but they didn't really get any significant punishment. It's not like their corporation was fucking shut down or anything like that, like it should be, or significantly fucking cut funding to taxpayer-wise to where they can't really do that much. It's ridiculous. They fucking use people as guinea pigs with their own taxpayer money and don't even bother telling them anything on what the fuck's going on with the shit or how it works. In addition to, you know, just sitting here manipulating you to fucking pretty much use you and not really do anything to help or like change anything. It's basically to fucking sit there, you know, help themselves, not we the people. It's they, the fucking elites, the fucking most wealthy people in the world. And then what they try to do, especially if you pay attention to anything with the WEF, they sit there, by they I mean big tech, government agencies, rich billionaires, people that lie within the governments, you know, individuals. They all sit there and try to basically make a one world order, which they have implied several times, or try to centralize power, which is exactly what they're trying to do right now. The WF and all those people that support it, they're doing that right now. So yeah, many of us have a hard time trusting them because they only seem to care about one thing, and that's really themselves. They might toss you a bone here every once in a while, but they don't really give a shit about us generally. They just give you a bone to fucking make you complacent, so you just go along again, and then you fucking bitch it, and they just do it again. They just give you a little bone, just enough to make you complacent, and not actually fucking stand up and, you know, realize shit because you're just too distracted. Oh, they gave us this, it's okay now. No. You need to fucking stand up and tell them what the fuck's wrong and demand it and not give up until you get exactly what the fuck you want, which is equality, freedom, proper regulations, unrigged elections, etc. Like, politicians actually give a shit about people. But to do that, we have to make new systems. We have to fucking overthrow the old ones and make new ones. You know, that's how it works. And get proper regulations set so that way we can have a proper system. But that's gonna be it for us today, though, my dudes. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you really think that Pfizer is trustworthy, given the fact they've lied about so much and they caused an opioid epidemic prior to the vaccines being released in their little lie? Do you really think that the government's able to be trusted since they fully approved it and they have shown that they aren't really that trustworthy, arguably? Let me know. That's gonna be it for us today, my dudes. If you guys did make it to the end of this video, please leave the word lies in the comment section down below. Let me know that you've made it to the end and that you guys are part of the 100% Club. And if you guys want a more interactive experience, join us on Twitch or YouTube. You can join us here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Central Time. Talk about stuff like this. But we talk about this, share some dark humor, you know, memes, play video games, and just chill and have a really good time. But yeah, feel free to check that out. I'll leave a link for that down below. In addition to our Discord, we have movie/weeb night every other Friday, which we just did recently. I'm doing spooky stuff this month since it's October. So horror movies, childhood, like Halloween movies, cartoons, etc. But yeah, so feel free to check that out if you guys want a more interactive experience. We also share memes, dark humor, conspiracies, spiritual talks, philosophical ones, etc. inside the Discord as well too. So if you guys want a more interactive time, feel free to check any one of those out. Links will be down below. And then feel free to check out my other YouTube channel, my survival YouTube, which is all about surviving without the systems and being independent of them, not having to rely on them at all. So learn how to make shelters, securing food, preserving the food, and then, you know, like how to make weapons and such, or ways to get food, or tools rather. But yeah, so if you guys want to learn more about that stuff, check those out. Either way, I do appreciate you guys being here very much. Again, my dudes, if you guys did enjoy, please smash the fuck out of that damn like button and give us a follow, subscribe, etc., and share us with friends. The more we get out there and further up in that YouTube algorithm when you guys do this, the more we can help people understand that it is okay to question these systems that we live in, and it's okay to think independently, because that is natural and that is just a part of life. And you know, when you guys do this, you're also being a part of the rebellion to help stop the corruption that lies within our systems, you know, and to help bring everything back into the light and help us thrive better as a society and as a world, you know. But until next time, though, my dudes, please don't forget to live long, prosper, take care, and peace. Keep it 1,000,000% real, and remember, fuck the system. I'll see you guys on the flip side.